We talking about social media for social change. We talking about being black in America. We talking about the role that we play in this America. Bringing it all back home. 50 places to find the best takeouts in town. 50 places to find the best takeout in town. Meat on fire. Shorty's Pit Beef and Ribs. Parking lots. All right, Windy Valley General Store. I started at Windy Valley in 1997. I'm the best of Baltimore. We talk about Baltimore. We talk about the best of Baltimore. I'm the best of Baltimore. One of the best things that Baltimore has to offer. All right? Ask the Department of Justice, Mr. Harding, because y'all called me a terrorist. And I was making a documentary about Dred Scott, the Supreme Court. All right? Judgment Day. We talk about race. You want to talk about corruption? You want to talk about the things that Donald Trump talking about? We want to drain the swamp? Well, let's drain the swamp. This is the District Court of Maryland. All right? This is the District Court of Maryland. It's Baltimore County. And y'all sent this boy to jail for life for the murder of a police officer. And he didn't kill that police officer. She pulled a gun on him. He panicked. He was a black man and he panicked. You feel me? We're going to talk about race and racism in your courts and race and racism in your police department. You feel me? We're going to talk about Scott Schellenberger and the role he plays in racism. All right? That's the face of racism in Maryland. Y'all killed that police officer. Rest in peace, and I feel for her. You know what I'm saying? But how many black people have your police department murdered and killed in Baltimore County? Let's talk about racism in Baltimore County. You feel me? Because y'all using this as a poster child. Y'all using this to feed that fear of black people. And that fear needs to be done away with. We talking about Martin Luther King. All right? The narrative of a slave. The way that you demonize black people. And that's what you're doing with him. It's called Jim Crow. And you holding him up in front of all of America to see so they can fear young black men. And that needs to stop. It's the criminalization of poverty. You feel me? Because they ain't got no jobs. They ain't got no way to make a living. So they use drugs and they tied to the streets. You feel me? And y'all put them in that situation when y'all created this war on drugs. It's about mass incarceration in your prison industry. You feel me? Because all y'all show is black people on TV committing crimes. And he ain't the only ones that's committing crimes. You're using your TV stations to demonize black people and using black faces to do it. You feel me? This me, Baltimore County Detention Center. These are my representatives, and that's the media. I'm showing the role the media plays in misinformation. That's WBAL. You feel me? Talking about Rikers Island. And we talking about making a living. You know what I'm saying? Y'all showing this about controversial funding. Let's do an audit. Let's bring all this to the head. You feel me? We're going to show you where your money at. Funding controversy. Yeah, I got a controversy for you. It's your funding in your courts. The money behind your prison industry. You got a controversy? Let's have an audit. A federal audit. From the IRS. Let's have a federal and state audit in the Baltimore City and Baltimore County courts. Because that's the face of new Jim Crow. That's who carries out a white agenda, white supremacy, and racism. But he claims to be saving the black community. He works for O'Malley's Mom Machine. You feel me? Like I said, social media is for social justice and social changes. That's the Department of Justice. Everything that I'm telling you can go to the Department of Justice and get it today. A federal investigation in the Baltimore County. This is for President Trump. You said you want to drain the swamp? Well, let's drain the swamp here. Witnesses: Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, former Governor Bob Ehrlich, Comptroller Peter Francott, Baltimore County State's Attorney Scott Schellenberger, Baltimore Sheriff Jay Fisher, Judge John Turnbull, Judge Pearson, Court of Appeals Robert Bell, Baltimore County Sheriff Duval. You feel me? Malcolm Ruff. You feel me? Malcolm Ruff, Baltimore City Clerk Frank Conway, Comptroller, Auditor Thomas Turtle, Senator James Broshini, Senator Kathleen Pugh, Senator Nathaniel McFadden, through their counsel, moved to squash the subpoena to directly deny them to approve for a protective order. Y'all follow protective order because I exposed your corruption and took you to court for your corruption. I named your politicians. Patricia Cook is with Bank of America. She testified on my behalf. Karen Parks, Paul Weinblatt, Scott Schellenberger, Peter Francott, Martin O'Malley, Fisher. All right, it names y'all. All right, y'all squash the subpoena because it's going to destroy the Democratic Party. It takes y'all all apart. It shows the role that y'all play in misinformation. It shows how you write the laws to protect white Baltimore. It shows how you write the laws to protect white Maryland. You use black faces to carry out a white agenda of white supremacy. And I just broke you down. Whatever I said is on court record. You can go to the Department of Justice. Social media for social change. That's the first story you did on me on Hard Look. All right? That's Governor Hogan. I record all phone calls. Social media for social change. I'm trying to help you get this out there. Louis Boyce. You feel me? I'm going through social media. MySpace, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't get no sweeter. This is my history. You asked for a program for the kids. I gave you a program for the kids in 2007, 2008. Yeah, 2008. Like I said, I got everything documented. That was my trip home. Because like I said, this is a movie and a documentary. I'm selling this to Netflix. I got 13 years of this. And like I said, Brandon Scott, being black in Baltimore. Yeah, y'all put me out of your town hall the other day because I was exposing you and I brought this information to the people in the community. I'm going to start having community town halls. No, I'm going to take this to the streets. Right here. If you go to Diana Suggs from the Baltimore Sun, she got a copy of this. This is the proof that I was making a movie about racism in the judicial system. That's notarized. You feel me? I'm sending this to Netflix if they want it. It's about Baltimore County's courts. It's about Scott Schellenberger. It's about Scott Schellenberger. You feel me? Commode emotion. That's a defamation of character. The toilet I left outside of Towson was a prop for a movie, Letters Design. The toilet I left in Towson was about Scott Schellenberger and Governor O'Malley's mom machine. The toilet I left in Towson was about your corruption in your courts. This toilet is a political statement. Freedom of speech is a focal point. Only for the movie and books. Rob fixes my production. Letters Design. So like I said, these are the transcripts from my trial. I can show where Baltimore County police knowingly lied on stand. They presented false evidence to the grand jury to get an indictment. It's the art of getting money. I was held for 86 days illegally. I was held for 186 days in Maryland. All right? And I'm going to show you that diary too. Convicts lawyers call confessions coerced. You coerce confessions, you force confessions, and you got innocent people locked up in Maryland's jails. You got innocent people locked up behind Scott Schellenberger. You feel me? You go directly to Donald Trump. He got this information. He asked for evidence for racism and corruption. He got it. Governor Hogan got it. You feel me? Governor Hogan been shielding it. Governor Hogan been shielding it for the longest. He been knowing about this since 2014. Last year, I spoke to Kyle Gilbert in February during Black History Month, and I haven't heard from Kyle or anybody from his office. This material is about mass incarceration and racism. I'm an independent filmmaker in the state of Maryland. The office of Scott Schellenberger illegally arrested me and took my property, exposing the corruption in the government. Governor Hogan met with me personally at the Christmas party and said he'd talk to me, and I haven't spoken to anybody yet. I came to your office 2 weeks ago, and security wouldn't let me come talk to Mr. Gilbert. So they told me to call Mr. Gilbert and set up an appointment so we can rectify the situation. Sharing it on Twitter.
Okay.
Supposed to set up an appointment, or he got the legal mail. He got all the material. He has the...
I'm assuming this is pertaining to a pardon?
No, I don't want a pardon. I'm not asking for a pardon. I'm asking for access to the grand jury, and I have a criminal case in which the state of Maryland refuses to take. I'm a victim. I'm not a defendant. I'm a victim.
Okay, hang on a second. Hold on.
These are the green cards that show you what I'm talking about. This is what Jane Miller don't want to show you. You feel me? This is what Jane Miller don't want to show you. The I-team don't want to report this. Mosby don't want to tell this. I'm getting ready to tear your house up, the Democratic Party apart. Donald Trump gonna get all this. Matter of fact, I'm sending all this to Gayle King I'm sending it to Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey. I'm gonna send it to Netflix. We're gonna talk about being black in America. And like I said, I record my phone calls. It's modern day lynching. You feel me? It's modern day lynching. Minus the ropes. You use your hands and you use guns. And you're killing us unabatedly. That's Waukegan, Illinois. That's my jailhouse diary from Waukegan, Illinois. All right. That's Angelo Kyle. On June 10th, 2008, I went in front of Angelo Kyle, Audrey Nixon, Mary Cunningham, Sam Cunningham's mother, and I gave testimony in front of the county board. I want that testimony submitted to the Department of Justice. I also want the minutes from my transcripts. That's page 201 from my jailhouse diary. I am Dred Scott. I just came back from court. I won and I lost. I got to read Dred Scott into decision, but the fight is not over. All right. Last night, FBI, Lisa Madigan. I wrote y'all. You feel me? I wrote y'all. I need a postmaster to ensure the mail is getting out. You feel me? Because y'all was destroying mail and y'all was destroying evidence. Y'all did the same thing in the Baltimore County Detention Center. And everything I got, I gave to Kurt Anderson. I gave to Tim Tennyson from WBAL. I gave it to WBAL. You feel me? So when I go out and shut your live feeds down, don't get mad. Brian Frost had this when he was Senator Frost. I testified in front of Brian Frost in the Senate Judiciary Committees. It's all on court record, and it's all on record. Like I said, this documentary is going to show you the role. This documentary is going to show everything. We're talking about prescription medication, and y'all on this prescription medication help them out, but y'all wanted to lock everybody up on crack. No, start locking up white America the way you did black America. Opioids. Send them to jail. I went to Waukegan to file a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit, like the Duke lacrosse team. You feel me? And that was in 2007. Y'all locked me up. I went home on vacation. I came back on probation, and you took my evidence. Can't be fathers to our kids if we locked up. You feel me? Congressman Cummings said he's going to see me every 6 weeks. We're going to have a conversation with community conversation with Congressman Cummings, a community conversations with Larry Hogan. We're going to talk about opioids versus crack. We're going to talk about mass incarceration versus forgiveness. You feel me? That's Angelo Kyle. This is the Minority Report. This is Commode Emotion. I put it all in a book. That's Lake County, Illinois, because I'm tying y'all together. Governor Hogan had this. Governor O'Malley had this, and Mr. McGee. This is for the voters, and y'all locked me up before the voters could see this. The Baltimore Sun had it. CBS had it. You know what I'm saying? ABC, 98 Rock. File a Freedom of Information Act, because I want my freedom. Inmate property. You stole property in Illinois, and you stole property in Maryland. That's my intellectual property. It's my movie release. It's about your prison industry and the inmates. You see that? Cash rewards up to $1,000. Show me the money. Yeah, I turned your prison industry and your courts into the Eric Holder and the Department of Justice. That was in 2009. Not only him, that's Judge Bell. That's the Maryland Black Legislative Caucus. That's Senator Broshini. That's Ben Cardins. That's Eric Holder. That's Judge Pearson and Frank Conway. You feel me? Making a documentary about your prison industry. That's the office of the governor. Governor Blagojevich. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can O'Malley. If Blagojevich can go to jail, so can Hogan. If Blagojevich can go to jail, y'all can go to jail too. That's the Supreme Court of Illinois, 2007. Because like I said, I'm making a movie and a documentary, so I had to get my paperwork from Illinois. I'm going to the Supreme Court of the United States Supreme Court. And we're going to go about the war on drugs. See the date? See the date? 9th Judicial District, 2008. You feel me? 2008. Capelhoff. That's Mayor Pugh right here. Senator Pugh, 2009. That's my house. I was kidnapped by the state of Illinois to shield the corruption in Illinois and Maryland. Y'all kidnapped me because I tied y'all all together. That's the Circuit Court of Baltimore City, 2009. Motion for public hearing. That's right, a motion for a public hearing. You feel me? A public hearing about my kidnapping, a public hearing about my incarceration, a public hearing about the courts. Here it is. Date file. SIA 4988. That was court ordered to be returned. John Bailey, that's my public defender. The public defender worked with the state's attorney to incarcerate y'all. That's real shit. It's like playing cards with 3 friends and a stranger. And all of this is legit. 2009, Barbara Mikulski. You feel me? 1402 Lochner. That's my apartment. That's where I was living at. You kidnapped me. I had a $54 million lawsuit. That's Governor O'Malley. State of Maryland, Bank of America, Governor O'Malley. We was going into your prison industry and your money. That's the case number right there. All right. I filed that December the 10th, 2000. December 4th, 2010. You were supposed to return this to me in 2010. January of 2010. This evidence was for this case and for this lawsuit. Bank of America. All right. You see it? It was about the prison industry. N62528. I'm an inmate. You feel me? I'm an inmate. That's Governor O'Malley's office. Governor O'Malley had the evidence to free me. And Governor O'Malley left me in jail. Kathleen Pugh left me in jail. Y'all left me in jail. That DVD was what Schellenberger took on the day that he locked me up. It was about the war on drugs. It was exposing y'all. You feel me? Baltimore Police Department. Y'all filed a motion to squash their subpoena because I was holding y'all accountable. I'm showing the role that the police play. Y'all slave catchers. Y'all slave catchers. There it goes. So replevin order. You know what a replevin order? A return of my personal property. And that replevin order exposed y'all. That replevin order was all about y'all. Governor O'Malley, Chief Johnson, Greg Bernstein, Scott Schellenberger. You use your positions of power to shield the corruption in the courts. You feel me? You use your positions of power to do that. So I did this. That's Patrick Fitzgerald from the Department of Justice. That's me when I was locked up. So I whistle blew while I was in jail. I sent Patrick Fitzgerald everything. And these are the inmates that signed it, that signed my petition. You feel me? These are the supporters of Shorty. Because when I was locked up and I got out of jail, I came back home. And these people support Shorty. You feel me? These are the supporters of Shorty. This is a legal notice. You see that? A legal notice. State of Maryland, Governor Quinn, General Assembly. You feel me? Because President Obama asked for an investigation. It's about your prison industry. That's my Illinois investigation number, 08IG. That's the Illinois Attorney General's number. Barbara Mikulski. See the date? 2009. Privacy Act. Feel me? Senator Cardens. The Maryland Black Caucus, Monday, 2009. Delegate John Cardens. You feel me? Mike Shue, Richard Sher. I'm showing you the role that media plays in this, and I'm naming y'all. Y'all are in this. You feel me? I'll be in Annapolis on Monday. Dred Scott. That's the ACLU. That's my case number with the ACLU. That's my case number with the ACLU. That's the ACLU. United States. Elijah Cummings. You feel me? Elijah Cummings. 2015. All right. Elijah Cummings. Elijah Cummings. This is Exhibit 4 from 2007. Governor Blagojevich. Senator Cardin's told me to contact Governor Blagojevich. Senator Cardin's. That's Senator Cardin's paperwork. That's from 2007. So Senator Cardin needs to produce all of this. Because like I said, I'm charging you with racism. You might hang around black people, say you help black people, but you're dangerous in my community. You're dangerous in my community because you give the appearance that you care, but you don't. You behind the crime bill. You partnered up with Bill Clinton when he wrote that crime bill. You wrote the crime bills to lock up Black Baltimore, and you've been supporting that. You come out to the rallies and say that you want to help, but in behind closed doors, you writing them laws and you putting in them bills. And you've been knowing about this since 2007. Your community liaison, Pastor Jerome Stevens, haul ass every time he see me. And I'm going to put that camera in his face every time he come on the streets. That's Miss Gion from the Department of Justice. From ACLU. I gave it to Miss Gion. Miss Gion knew about it. She went to Congressman Cardin's office. All right, y'all had this information. You feel me? United States Senate. I made you sign for it. Submission. It's my whistleblower's application. You received mail Friday, February the 15th. This 2019 and y'all still ain't did nothing. President Obama, Chief Justice Roberts, Speaker of the House. You feel me? It's the Creative Alliance. It's the art of making money. Baltimore Office of Promotions and Art. It's from 2015. Dear Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake. All right. I am writing you this letter so there is no misunderstanding about my intentions, my commitment to community, to build a better Baltimore. I have attended all of your town halls meetings since 2014 and the initial ones in 2015. I've offered solutions to the problems that we face in our community. As an ex-member of Ceasefire in Lake County, Illinois, I brought you a similar program to Baltimore, which is implemented in 2006. It was embraced by Governor O'Malley, then Mayor O'Malley. It dealt with gun violence, gangs. All right? Y'all got this. I'm an honorably discharged veteran of the United States Navy. You incarcerated a whistleblower. So I want President Trump to get this. That's the Minority Report. That's the report about my incarceration. And that's Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court, 2007, because I was making a movie and a documentary. Everything has to be documented. Everything is documented. Everything is documented. It's on social media. You feel me? Not only on social media, but it's in the emails. Attention, Gayle King. Attention, Gayle King. All right, you see who it was sent to? David Kamuch, my sister, Jane Miller. This was sent Wednesday. I'm sending this material to Gayle King, exposing racism and corruption and I'm using social media for social changes. All right? See if she does anything with the story or shield the corruption Camera is a powerful tool. The evidence is for a federal investigation that Johnny Oleski asked for. President Trump has the storyboard. Michael Alport has the mail number. All right? Chief Justice Robert instructed me to approach the Supreme Court. I'm going to approach the Supreme Court. We're going to talk about scent mail. Kiefer Mitchell. That's Governor Hogan. We're going to talk about 11:30 meeting with Congressman Cummings. Social media for social change. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. There go Facebook. Where's Waldo? No, where's Shorty? That's Facebook. YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. And these other videos on my YouTube channel. That's Sam Cunningham. That's Mayor Cunningham. Waukegan's worst to Baltimore's best. This is my camera, and I use my camera very well. Social media for social change. This is Shorty's voice. And this video right here, 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Go look at that video right there. Go look at these first 4 videos, and it'll break you down. Those first 4 videos is gonna send Schellenberger to jail. We talking about white supremacy and racism, well, we're gonna address it. It's the art of getting money. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation, cotton for cocaine, and we steal the cash crop. And that's the slave catcher. That's the overseer. A federal and a state audit, a federal and a state investigation. Money count itself. And it's the art of getting money.